Welcome everyone to Blindfold Chess Training Day 28. Today we're looking at another classical game between Nimzovich and Capablanca. This one's 41 moves, so slightly longer than the yesterday's one. And yeah, Capablanca won the game. He played with the black pieces, but we will still be memorizing it from the white side, from the white's point of view. So the way I like to do this is close your eyes, and when you visualize the board, you can visualize it from black side. If you've done enough coordinate training on the other side, you can flip the board in your head. With black facing that way. That way, you wouldn't be playing e4, you'd be playing e5. You wouldn't be playing knight f3, you'd be playing knight f6. But you can also do it the way I do it, which is you can still visualize just from white's perspective. E4, you play, let's say, they play c5, Sicilian defense. You're still playing the game, you're looking from white's perspective, but you can still analyze from black side as well. So that's the way I like to do it. I can do it both ways as well, but I prefer this way. So okay, let's go. Let's start this game. So in this game, I'll be giving certain checkpoints, like as we cross certain moves. And yeah, like I'll click it on the board, go back to the position, just in case that if you lose it at any time, you can get back to it. But you will really want to make sure to try and visualize in your head. That's the whole point of this. All right, c4. We play knight f6. Okay, in response to c4, knight f6 has been played. You ask yourself, what does c4 do? What does it allow? Okay, it moves the queen can come out. And knight f6, okay, simply develops a knight. And it's a very common move. Okay, knight f3 after knight f6. Okay, so both knights are developed. And the c pawn has been moved. Now we play e6. So e6 has been played. It's a pretty standard move. It's kind of like a Nimzo, but the English Nimzo, I'm not sure the name of this opening, but it's not your typical d4, c4, knight, c3 Nimzo, but yeah, you want to develop that bishop somewhere on f8 to likely to the b4 square. That's what we're going for. All right, d4 is played, so it's looking like a Queen's Indian maybe, could be a potential, but no, it turns into a Queen's Gambit declined. With the move d5. So after d4, he plays d5. And now this we see is like a Queen's Gambit declined, where e6, d5 has been played. Let's see what happens now. e3, very standard move. So here, just take stock of the position. Knight f3, e3, c4, d4. And we have played d5, e6, knight f6. So now we play bishop e7, makes a lot of sense. Just developing the piece. Now they play knight bd2. And if you think I'm going too fast, you can always slow it down. Play the video in 0.25 speed. Actually, don't do that. I will sound very robotic and sound like this. Or you could play in 2 times speed if you're like super GM, like Hikaru. But no. Just watch the video and pause if you need to. So knight bd2 is played. After bishop e7, which makes some sense. Yeah, makes some sense. I mean, the bishop, he could have put his bishop on d2, but it wouldn't make much sense. I'm actually not sure why he didn't put his knight on c3. To me, that's the more logical square. I don't know why I said more twice. I guess it was really that much more. Yeah, knight bd2 is played. Castles is played. Alright, black is a standard position. Bishop e7, castle. E6, d5. Very standard. White's is a little substandard. I mean, knight f3, knight d2, c4, d4, e3, but it's still pretty good. Now, if I was white here, what would I play? I would maybe considering taking the pawn. Playing c5, actually. Or just developing my bishop to like e3, d3. Or queen c2 even. I like queen c2 here, but let's see what they play. Oh, they play c5, okay. Yeah, the reason I was considering c5 is I feel my opponent's playing a bit passively. Maybe I can play c5, b4, b5 and try and rip open the queen side. But they will also go for f6, e5, so it's a bit double-edged. Oh wait, no, I've messed this up. Oh, they played bishop d3. Oh, I've completely messed it up. They played bishop d3. We played c5. Just so you guys understand, I don't want you to... So I thought in this position, maybe he'll play c5, which I don't know if it's a... Okay, it's a bad move. Yeah, it's a bad move. I was just thinking about it. Maybe it's possible. But no, he played bishop d3. Just make sure in your head you have that. The opponent actually played the c5. So he played bishop d3. His opponent played c5. And he took. Okay, he took dc5. Which makes sense. Now he'll probably take back bishop c5. No. Knight a6 is played. Interesting. I would think knight a6, maybe I can take that knight. Oh, no, it's blocked off. So after dc5, okay. This is slightly complex. dc5, there's still a pawn on c4 and a bishop on d3. We can't take the knight because there's a pawn on c4. Now the knight on a6 will simply recapture. And if they play c6, we'll just take back with the b pawn. Yep. Okay, after knight a6, they castle. And we play knight takes c5. Okay. So now what we have to see is black has lost the c pawn and white has lost the d pawn. Black is exerting some pressure on, let's say, the e4 square, where two knights can jump on that square. And it's not currently being defended. White also has pressure on the d5 square, where if they take it, they have... Okay, they only have one attacker because the knight's on d2, weirdly. Now the bishop's on d3. So now the bishop on d3 is hit, so maybe bishop b1 will be played, something passive. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad for white already. Very passive position. Bishop e2 is played, so he brings the bishop back. So now if you keep stock of the pieces, white's pieces, queen d1, rook f1, no, they haven't castled. No, they just castled. Oh, they did castle, yeah. So castle, rook f1, king g1. All the pawns are on standard squares except for... Well, the d pawn is gone. c4 has been played and e3 has been played. So c4 and e3, d pawn gone. Bishop e2, knight f3, knight d2, bishop c1. Queen d1 looks out to a4. And to, yeah, can't see to e2 because of the bishop there. Now for black. Black has a knight on c5, a knight on f6, castled, bishop e7. Which a c pawn is gone, so b7, a7 is still there, d5, e6 is still there. Yeah. Oh, I'm missing a piece. Bishop on c8. Bishop on c8 hasn't moved. Alright, let's go. Next move. b6. So after bishop e2, he plays b6. Makes a lot of sense. He wants to get the bishop out either to a6 or b7. I like a6 here because you put pressure on the c4 pawn. And they can never take because the bishop on d3 would be hanging. So now he plays knight takes d5. No. b6, cd5. So he takes cd5. His opponent plays... I don't know what they play. What does this mean? b3. No, it's not b3. Oh, knight takes. Oh, yeah, okay. 2. Let me go back. Okay, so after cd5, so in that position, he plays cd5. And he responds with knight takes d5. Knight on f6 takes on d5. This is looking really good for black. You have two knights in the center. Two knights in daylight, in the sunshine, in the city. Yeah. Tell me what you want. I don't know what I just did. Knight d5, knight b3. Okay. So he plays knight b3 now. So the knight moves from d2 to b3, which makes sense. You open up the bishop. But the bishop doesn't see very far. The bishop sees to d2 only. And then knight on b3, okay, it wants to come to... Why is everything so loud in this house? Knight b3, knight f3, e3. e3, c4. No, not c4. Just e3. We just took. So essentially the c file is open. Yeah, the c and d files are open for both sides now. There's not a pawn on c and d, so this makes it a lot easier. Everything else is symmetrical pawn structure. So if you look here, this will be... So what I mean by this is, these pawns are all symmetrical. Oh, there is b6 actually. I kind of forgot about that, but yeah. This is what the structure is looking like. So from here, if you need to, you can look at this position and go on. You can pause the video and think from here. I will go back to the start and look from there. So after knight b3, we play bishop to b7. Makes a lot of sense. Bishop into the game. Last piece, get it in. Okay, they play knight c5. Makes sense. I mean, knight c5. What are we going to take back with? The b6 pawn, of course. So bc5 will be played. There may be queen b3, but then rook b8. Let's see what is played. Oh no, bishop c5 is also good, yeah. Bishop c5 is also good. Bishop c5, queen a4. Queen a4 looks like it's attacking a knight. On c6. But my knight wasn't on c6, it was on c5. Well, now my bishop's on c5. Oh, he took the knight, yeah, okay. Wait, where's my other knight then? d5? It takes d5. Yeah, the other knight is on d5. So we have d5, e6, f7, everything else is static. g7, h7. And then we have... This is going to be a long game, isn't it? I could go to sleep so easily. So easily. I'm not sleeping. Thinking. c5. So the knight's on d5. We have a bishop on b7. We have a bishop on c5. Okay, I just kind of hallucinated for a little bit. Alright, queen a4. Doesn't do much. It's just a move they play. I don't see any good... It doesn't do anything. We play queen f6, makes a lot of sense. Get the queen into the game. After queen a6, f6, bishop a6 is played. Bishop a6 looks all the way at f8. No, bishop a6 is played. So the bishop goes from... Okay, I'm extremely tired today, so I will look at the position. Yeah, I mean, you guys can look as well. So bishop a6, does it do? Okay, it wants to trade off the bishop, but I can trade it, and I'm not too concerned. Yeah, bishop a6, queen a6, knight b4. Yeah, this is looking really nice. I'm gonna play it from here. Just so, yeah, today I'm not really I'm completely out of it. So I'm probably not even gonna be able to do this. So, more than likely you guys won't be able to do this. But, we'll have this played. We'll do like 10 or so moves and then we'll look at the position. Just so we're learning something from the game as well. Not completely all about just visualizing the game. At least for today. Other days we will do some more hardcore stuff. Like yesterday's was fully on. We went through the game. So here, let's take a look. Black is better. Why is black better? This piece is not developed. This queen is attacked. This bishop is pretty good. And all their pieces are ready to come in the game. Can't develop this bishop. This pawn will hang. This is looking bad. If I was white, what would I play here? Maybe queen c4 or queen a4. I mean, that's the only two options. There's also queen e2. Queen e2, rook d8. Queen e2, rook d8. a3. Let's see what okay, he plays queen e2 and he does play rook fd8 and he does play a3. Okay, everything I said, I promise you, I know it looks like I can just see the moves, but I was actually just thinking, okay, what would I play here? Queen e2 is logical, and then what do you call it? Now you bring the rook into the center, of course, and a3 to kick the knight away. Everything's logical, but they played the exact moves I said. But yeah, knight d3. Yeah, this was actually what I was thinking of. Maybe knight d3 there. Now you attack the bishop. Now you attack the pawn. And it's quite good. Let's see what happens after knight d3. Knight e1. Knight e1, huh. And if I were to take on b2, isn't that just a free pawn? Oh no, the queen on e2 defense, what am I saying? If I take the bishop, it doesn't seem very strong. If I take the knight, it's not a great move. What if I just bring the knight back for like, bring it back to e5? Maybe just I'll just play knight e5 there. And argue my opponent's pieces are really, really badly placed. He plays knight take. Oh, he takes on e1. Okay. I'm actually curious. What's the best move there? It is to take. 95? Oh, 95 is playable as well. Take, rook takes. Okay, and just develop your pieces. Okay. Oh, that is what actually is played. So we'll start from here. Now, rook b1 is played here. So white plays rook b1. We play queen e5. Queen e5 makes a lot of sense. You're setting up bishop d6 ideas. You're also keeping an eye on that pawn on b2. g3 makes a lot of sense, blocking off any tricks. But now h5 might come. And he plays queen d5. Okay, queen d5 makes some sense. Controlling the light squares. b4. The bishop finally has to move. Bishop goes to f8. Okay, makes some sense. Bishop b2. Bishop b2 and then queen a2. Okay, let's go to this position. So bishop b2, queen a2 comes. How tired am I? I just want to quickly look. Do I look extremely tired? No. But I am. Trust me, I am. Alright. Queen a2. Okay, after queen a2, it's looking pretty good for black still. Here... What do I play for white? I have to trade the rook somehow. Maybe rook e to d1. Get a pair of rooks off the board. Yeah, maybe. Oh, here a5 apparently. He plays rook a1, which apparently is given an inaccuracy. And I assume the reason is... I'm not entirely sure. Maybe queen c4? Queen b3. Okay, yeah, queen b3. Rook a1, queen b3 is the logical move. Bishop d4. Okay, but now rook c2 will come. Rook c2 is played. Queen a6 is played. Now he's attacking the pawn on a7. Queen a6, e5. Okay, let's have a look from here. e5 comes, attack the bishop. Now black is still better. This pawn is hit, but these rooks are doing pretty well. Bishop takes e5 is played, which... Okay, he takes the sacrifice. And I assume the reason he did the sacrifice just to bring the rook down to this rank. He would have thought he had rook f1. Which he kind of does. Oh no, he doesn't. Rook f1, oh my god, you have this move. You sack. Take, check, here, check, here, mate. That's amazing. Yeah, and then he plays queen b7. No, but he sees the threat. So he does address the threat. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, he doesn't address all the threat. No, he doesn't. This pawn is still hanging. So, yeah, now this is hanging and this game is going to be lost badly. So we can probably finish it off. Okay, let's go through here. Queen b7, he takes. Rook f2, g4. So his opponent is trying something, but now he will take on... I assume he will take the other pawn as well? No. Oh, no, obviously the bishop defends now. So now he plays the move queen e6. Which is a bit prophylactic. But also he wants the queen to come here and give a check and trade and win. Bishop g3. That doesn't stop anything. It's just queen h3. So look at this. Bishop, this is played. Now, okay, he plays rook takes h2 here. the brilliant move apparently. Aha. So rook takes h2. If bishop takes, he wants to take here. Check. If the king goes in the corner, maybe sacrifice. Take. I'll just show this on the board. Pretty sure after this, we have check here. We can sack the rook, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, I am very wrong. I thought I could sack the rook and play this. Apparently I'm wrong. Okay, no, this doesn't lead to mate. Just queen h3, yeah, it's enough. Alright, after rook h2, he plays queen f3. Now rook hg2 check. Queen g2, rook g2, king g2. Very simple conversion. Now he will try and pick off the gaps. King g2, queen g4, rook ad1, h5, rook d4, queen g5. So I'll stop it to here. And now we have to win this game. If you would think about a way you would try and win this game for black, you have extra 2 pawns, so you have to somehow get these pawns rolling and try and actually create a winning position. Another possibility you have is exploiting the pin, but it won't be so easy to do so. So I think the best protocol would be to push the pawns as a group and bring the king. So king h2, a5, rook e2, a takes b4, a takes b4, bishop e7, rook e4, have a look from here, a takes, a takes. Now he plays bishop e7, rook e4, bishop f6, with the simple point of playing bishop to d4 at some point, not immediately. Also, h4 is the threat. Bishop e7, rook e4, bishop f6. Oh, this is also a threat. Rook f2. I don't know how the other rook got to f2, but okay. Oh no, it's right here. f2. Queen d5, so look here. And apparently after rook e8 check, king h7, they resigned. And they resigned in view of, well, this position's going to be slowly lost. This is threatened. That traps the bishop. If the king moves, I mean, sure, maybe this still wins. Let's see. Yeah, silent move. Preparing this. Say random. Oh no, not silent. Hits the rook. I'm super tired. And yeah, this is the game. So I'll call it there for today. I'm falling asleep. So yeah, that will be it for training day 28. And this is 2/3 in. So almost there. At the end, we will have a simul game. So day 42, we will have a simul game. I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. Alrighty, guys.